Hello everyone, this is Chrism, and I'd like to welcome you to another conversation about your Kundalini awakening experience. I'm standing in a 12th century gatehouse in Corfu Castle. And if you look this way, this is where the bowmen, the archers, would try to defend the castle against invading armies. Many of you in your past lives will have been a soldier, or the wife of a soldier, or a king, a prince, a princess within these time periods. Part of the refinement process. You may not have been on the winning end of the spear, so to say, but you will have lived a life that would have allowed you as much learning as your personal soul development required. This is part of the stepping stone that you would have had with regards to your Kundalini refinement process. You lived many lives, and you lived them in ancient lands and often in lands that you still inhabit. Here we're in southern England, and this was a 12th century castle. It still stands, surprisingly so. So a real testament to the amount of thought and effort and architectural significance that they tried to put into their defenses and their protected spaces. With Kundalini, you no longer need such structures. Your protected space is behind your eyes, within your heart, and at the base of your spine. So you are a walking, talking castle. A walking, talking temple more than a castle. Kundalini brings with it its own knowledge, its own consciousness, its own food, its own energy into your matrix, into your Kundalini awakening matrix. And so I would like you to consider this, and I'd like you to consider the path that you had to take in order to get where you are now, to even know what the word Kundalini is, what it stands for. Some people have come to me and they have told me that they didn't even know what Kundalini was, and this is many, many people. One man he had a dream where the word Kundalini was stenciled across his forehead, and he asked his friend to look it up. And come to find out, that's what he had. And he finally understood what he'd been going through, all of these different processes, with all of these different strengths and weaknesses and experiences. Karma comes up. How you were as a soldier here determined your next life expression. Were you a good person? Were you a bad person? Were you somewhere in between good and bad, like most of us? We take very small steps in soul development. It's not one great leap, with soul development. Now, during this time period in the 12th century, there were saints. And these saints had Kundalini. Okay, so their soul development required that when they reached a certain age within their life in the 12th century, that they would become of age for a Kundalini awakening. And this is happening to you right now. So welcome and congratulations. And look at yourself in the mirror and give yourself a big kiss and a big hug and say, yes, I've made it to the next threshold. Because you have, in a very real sense. You've come from these castles in these beautiful green fields here in southern England to where you are right now. Think about that. Thanks for watching.